Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Beyond the Words. Tonight we're going to be talking about
gifts you should be giving this Christmas.
So let's get to it.
Again.
Take two. Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Beyond the Words. I'm Lon.
I'm Lisa.
And this is a show where we talk about faith, family, and relationships. We give you some insight into our own personal journey, our own stories, and give you some tips that we have found can help you strengthen your relationships. And as we said before, tonight we're going to be talking about
the gifts you should be giving this Christmas.
That's right. That's right. And sorry, guys, for the technical difficulties that we had. We scheduled it, and then somehow the stream didn't seem to be going through.
But it
was. And so now I'm looking to see if anybody is actually online, because it doesn't show that anybody's online.
But it says bad over there, and I don't know if that's like the naughty nice list. It could just mean Rufus is on the naughty list, which...
Yeah. So I don't really know... I don't really know what that means.
Yeah.
So if you can see this, if we're actually streaming, put something in the comment section. Let us know that you're watching.
We could just be talking to ourselves.
We could be just talking to ourselves. I'm not sure. But anyhow.
Anyhow. Is that like a Santa thing? Anyhow ho ho.
Anyhow ho ho. Yes, it is. It is exactly that. It is a Santa thing. And yes. Well, anyway, we'd love to connect with you. If you can send us an email, we'd love to hear from you. You can connect with us by sending us an email at lonandlisa@gobeyondthewords.com. That's lonandlisa@gobeyondthewords.com. That's a mouthful. But we would love to connect with you and hear some of your ideas about maybe things that we could talk about, and maybe your ideas about the show, whether you like it, some things you don't like. If you've experienced some of the things that we're talking about, let us know. We'd love to hear from you.
So how was your week?
There was some debate over whether we were going to actually have the show tonight, because we were kind of talking about whether you were up for it.
I'm up for it.
And she said she was up for it, so she's a trooper.
I'm a super trooper.
How was your week?
It was fantastic.
Yeah.
This is our first Gabby-less show. Gabby the gallbladder is no more.
Gabby the gallbladder, no more.
She got her eviction notice.
Right. Yeah, and so last week, and we shared a little bit last week about it.
Yeah.
You went in like on a Wednesday.
Tuesday.
Or Tuesday.
No,
it was a Tuesday. Yeah. And you got the ultrasound, and like the very next day you met with the surgeon, and they got you in right away. And so this past Tuesday you went in and had your gallbladder removed.
Yep.
And how does it feel? Is there like a vacant spot somewhere?
That's what Ryan asked. Yes.
Like, I don't know what that feels like.
Yes.
Is that what it feels like?
I'm holy.
You're so funny.
I know.
Anyhow, maybe it's going to post in just a moment.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, we don't know what's going on.
We don't really know what's going on.
We're just rolling with it,
We're just going to go with it. But you had your surgery on Tuesday.
Yes.
And I was able to take off most of the week to kind of help you out.
Mm-hmm. And Ryan took some time off, which was super nice.
Ryan took some time off and came over and helped.
Yes.
And we got some fantastic flowers back here from family and friends.
Yes, we got flowers.
Yeah.
Super
nice. We got some from your mom and my mom. And
Dad.
And Kirk. And Madison and Ethan. And then we got some more. You got some more flowers today from the Slaybaugh family.
Yes.
Which are
And
great friends.
they came over and visited today, which was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And the kids played with Rufus, which he really enjoyed.
Absolutely.
They played. He has this little ball thrower. It's an automatic ball thrower that Ryan got him, and the kids were dropping the ball for him, and he had a lot of fun with them. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So we got to
so
talk
it was
to them
great.
for a
It
few
was great
minutes.
visiting with them, and they came over just a few minutes to see how you were doing and all of that stuff. And then was it Tuesday? Was it Tuesday evening? I think the Nichols brought some food over.
Yes. Which fed us for several days.
Yeah, it was, and it was
really
awesome.
good
It was
food.
just what you needed because you didn't need anything. Like there was chicken noodle soup, I believe, and some
chicken and noodles.
or chicken and noodles,
homemade.
right? So it was and homemade.
Homemade.
Awesome.
Amazing.
Incredibly awesome.
Yes.
So that was awesome. So
I thought Ryan was going to eat it all.
Yeah, we had to
he
keep-
was like, this is good.
we had to keep Brian away from it.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
But it's been a
And we still have ziti in the freezer.
they brought over ziti too,
Yes.
and so we've got that in the freezer as
And
well.
Ryan said, "What's in ziti?" He was like eyeballing it. Yeah, so we might have that. We might have that for Christmas. I'm
All
thinking
kinds of cool
Christmas.
stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Christmas might be ziti.
That would be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So we were kind of back and forth on whether or not we were going to have a show tonight, and you were like, I was like, well, just buck up.
He said, "Suck it up, Buttercup."
Suck it up. No, I didn't do that.
He pushed me down the stairs.
I didn't do that, but you said you were up to it, and you had some things that kind of were on your heart that you wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
And, some ideas,
Yes.
and I thought that was really good, and so we just quickly threw something together and made a show of it. So
Yes.
that's what we're doing today. And I still can't see if anybody is. Oh, we do have a couple of people online now, so that's good. So if you're watching, again, I apologize for the technical difficulties, but
It is what happens.
it is what happens sometimes when you kind of don't have a team of people doing things for you.
You
and
are our team of people.
I am the team of one, of two.
He's our team of people. I just sit here
Yes.
and watch him try to stay out of his way until the show starts.
She's like, "Can I help you do something?" No, you got this, right? That's exactly the way it is. So that was our week,
Yes.
but you're feeling a lot better now.
Okay.
Do you believe it? No. It looks like
I
you're
do.
getting. It looks
I do
like
feel better.
every day you seem to
Yeah.
be getting stronger and that sort of thing.
Absolutely.
So, I guess. Hey, Avonlea, how's it going?
Oh,
Good to see you on here.
Avonlea is on under her own name.
Wow, I know. That's amazing. That's amazing because
Yes.
usually she's watching with Lucas.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so you want to just jump in? We're probably not going to make a huge show.
Right,
We're going to jump in, get to our topic, and then get out.
Yeah, I think this has been the worst part is this throat thing.
Yeah.
My throat isn't 100%, so.
And
I
mine
get this
never
little
is.
squeaky thing. But other than that, yeah.
So tonight, we kind of thought we wanted to share our perspective on how you can give great gifts and the
Right.
gifts you should be giving
Right.
this Christmas. And
Everybody wants a car, buy everybody a car.
yes, that's what.
The end.
I don't think
Stop
so.
the show.
Right. So how do you give good gifts? I mean, you've got kids that they write out their list, they give it to the parents or the grandmother or the grandfather or whatever, and they just they go out and they just buy whatever's on the list and and give it, and that's pretty much it. So we wanted to kind of give you some alternative ways of giving gifts, some tips on how to give gifts that really kind of stand out
Right.
and are memorable,
Right.
that mean something. So let's just get into it.
So I want to start with something that's really important.
Okay.
There was a social worker who gave some really good advice, and that was that when Santa gives gifts, Santa really shouldn't be giving the expensive gifts like the Xboxes and things like that, because when the child goes back to school and says, guess what Santa brought me? Santa brought me an Xbox and things like that, then the less fortunate children are going to wonder why Santa didn't bring that for them. So a lot of times it's better if the parent says, I gave you the Xbox, Santa gave you this, the smaller gifts.
Right, the smaller things.
Yeah, it's better if Santa brings the smaller things and then the parents actually say, I went out and bought you this. And it's okay for parents to buy their kids nice things.
Right.
But
that is
Santa...
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. But Santa should, Santa should come if the kids are good, and Santa should bring them gifts. But, maybe...
If you do that sort of thing. Because there are a lot of families that don't do...
I'm just trying to be considerate if kids are watching.
If kids are watching.
But it's okay if Santa comes, but Santa maybe shouldn't bring the Xbox and things like that. And that way when the kid goes back, it's more sensitive to the... if Santa doesn't...
The less fortunate.
Yeah. But that's just a social worker's perspective on that.
That's good. That's good.
Just to be sensitive to those children. It's something to think about. And it's also, Santa doesn't want to take credit for something that you bought.
There you go.
So, and your kids need to know.
Yeah,
that, hey, Mom and Dad spent a lot of money on you.
Well, and I mean, eventually...
So don't give Santa credit for something you did. So if you bought your kids an Xbox, put your name on it. Santa bought them socks, put Santa's name on it.
Yes.
The
well,
end.
yeah.
So go ahead.
We have to kind of...
just a perspective. Yeah.
Tread lightly, because to be respectful of those who have smaller kids that...
might be sitting with them.
That where Santa comes and visits.
Right.
But there's a lot of people who Santa...
Right.
They don't want Santa to come and visit.
Right.
But
yeah, just a perspective thing.
Just a different perspective.
Yeah.
But so that's a good pointer.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Well, let's jump into our own ideas about giving gifts, and these we've experienced a lot of this and have talked about it. And we've talked a little bit in some of our previous shows about giving gifts and that sort of thing, and some good tips to keep in mind when you're giving gifts. So we'll start off with our first list of 5. We have a total of 10. 10. There's a lot more, but we're not going to be here forever. We're going to jump into it and get on with it. Anyway, number 1, the thought is more important than the gift itself. So put some thought into it. Again, going back to you've got your kids that they write out their list, and you just go and get them whatever, whatever's on their list.
Right.
Okay, but if you can put some thought into what they might like, and specifically when you're talking about giving gifts from one adult to another adult.
Okay. So is this a good time to bring up what Madison bought me?
Yeah, you can. Yes, you can do that. Okay,
so
that works.
And so nobody
Hi,
yells
Davina.
at me.
Merry Christmas.
So nobody yells at me for opening my Christmas presents. My kids are horrible and said, in case you die during surgery, you can go ahead and open your present.
That was very thoughtful of them, right?
It really was. So, and actually Ryan said it, and then Madison said, well, if you opened Ryan's presents, you can open mine. But when I was visiting Madison in Orlando, and Madison and Ethan, I visited both of them, in October, we went and had our nails done. And I asked for a specific brand and a specific color, and she remembered that. And she actually had that brand and that color sent to me for Christmas. And don't look at my nails now because they look horrible. But to remember that to remember the brand and the color, and to go through the effort of having that sent to me was just super thoughtful. It took a lot of effort.
Right, and that's the whole point of putting some thought into it. Is that
Right.
is that it shows that you spent some time
Right.
to think about what the other person might like.
Right.
You did that last year. She completely surprised me. I had been looking online, just shopping, not really planning to buy anything, but I was just kind of looking at telescopes, because I was kind of into. I wanted to get some pictures. I was kind of playing around with astrophotography and that whole concept and everything. So I was just kind of glancing through, but we never had a conversation about me wanting it for Christmas or anything like that. And so at Christmas, you just kind of surprised me. You were like, well, if you happen to find a telescope in the house, then you can have it, right? And of course there was one. So you completely caught me off guard there. So that was, but she noticed that I was kind of searching online for that sort of thing. So, yeah. Okay, so number 2, think about what the other person would like and not the thing that you would like.
Right.
A lot of times we go into a store and we see things and we're like, man, that is cool. And you go and buy it for someone, and maybe they're not kind of into that thing, so they open it up and they're like, oh, great. Well, I don't really do photography, so what am I going to do with a Canon?
Yeah, I was wondering why you bought me a guitar last year. I was like,
and you don't play guitar, so...
You're like, well, I'll take it if you don't want it.
That's right. Hey.
Yeah, worked out really well for you.
Right, absolutely. So that's tip number 2. You want to do number 3?
I can't read it. I don't have my contacts.
Oh, you don't have your time. Okay. So number 3 is, if you want to really build relationships, think of giving experiences over objects, right?
Yes.
So an experience would be going to the zoo together, or
escape rooms.
Or escape room.
Or throwing axes.
Or throwing axes, or doing something together. It's an experience rather than just giving you a gift and that be it.
Right.
Because it involves spending more time together.
Right. Like you did the James Taylor tickets and the Wicked tickets for our anniversary and my birthday. That was fantastic.
Yeah.
Things
Absolutely.
Like that.
Number 4, always include a thoughtful message with the gift, and preferably handwritten. Now this tip kind of it's similar to tip number 1 in that it takes a little bit more effort to actually handwrite something, rather than like you go to Hallmark and they've got fantastic cards with lots of really meaningful things
and very personable,
and they are.
You find just about everything.
You can find just the right card, right? And that's good. There's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
But then when you add your own touch to it, when I put the pen to the page and actually write something, it becomes a lot more personal.
Right. And I think I've said this before, on all of your notes and cards, you usually write the year. And if you don't write the year, I usually write it on there. And then I have a lawn box, is what I call it. And I put everything in there.
Yep.
So
absolutely,
when we're old and senile, I can be like, what is this?
Yeah. And then you can remember the date. I always like to put the date just to, I don't know. So just something that I do. Anyway, tip number 5, don't just give money. Now, sometimes money is an appropriate gift.
Right.
If there's somebody who just doesn't have a lot, and and you want to bless them with money, then that's great. But if you can put more thought into it, that's preferable.
Right.
Yeah. So That's another great tip. Number 6, the monetary value is not really important. The important thing here is that you give a gift. Why do you give gifts?
Just to show someone that you love them and that you're thinking about them.
Right. So it's to show that you are connected to them in some personal way. It's about building relationships, or to show that they're appreciated,
Right.
and not just somebody who takes up space. So, and this is great though, because there's a lot of families that don't have a lot.
Right.
So maybe they can't give the Xbox or whatever. I know I went through that with my kids several years ago. I had very little money, so I wasn't able to buy the Lego brand. I had to go get the Blocks brand or whatever.
Right.
I don't know. It was some off brand or something. And so sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. That's right. Davina says she builds things and paint things, makes practical gifts.
Yeah.
And that's awesome. That's exactly what we're talking about, Davina, is doing things that are practical, putting more time and effort into it, because that really speaks volumes to the person that you're giving the gift to. Absolutely. Number 7 is you can be creative in the way that you present the gift.
Yeah.
Now, this is another great tip, I think, for especially families that don't have a lot of money, because a lot of times you get this image in your head, and kids do anyway, of waking up on a Christmas morning and coming down, and there's this mountain of gifts and things, and sometimes mom and dad they just don't have the money. But what you can do is, instead of giving a lot of gifts, maybe give 1 or 2 gifts, but when you present the gift to the kid, make it an experience.
Yeah.
Maybe they're hunting,
Right.
or if you're doing the Santa Claus thing, maybe
Or if Santa Claus comes.
If Santa Claus comes, then maybe you can, he leaves clues.
Right.
And,
Or like the Red Ryder BB gun, it's behind was it behind the sofa or behind the chair?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
But yeah. So it can all be great in how you experience it.
Right.
Hi, Laura. Merry Christmas to you. Another great way to do it is if you have a small gift, put it inside of a box and wrap that, and then put that in a bigger box and wrap that and put it in a bigger box. So you're and it's all in fun, but it makes it a little bit more memorable, and you're still putting a lot more time and effort into it, into showing the person that you care. So, number 8, give something that benefits more than one person. This kind of is linked along the same thing as the experiences. So if you, like for instance, the tickets to go see Wicked, or a concert, something like that.
Right.
Because, but I would also say is don't put any strings attached to it. If you buy 2 tickets, let them decide who they want to take to the show.
I didn't have to take you.
You didn't have to take me, but I'm glad that you did. Or you can give somebody the gift of an airplane ticket to go see a loved one. It's another great gift. Tip number 9. For some, the perfect gift might be giving to a specific charity. So what do you give to the person who has everything?
Now, see, even not for the person who has everything, but every year, I give a gift, the meal to, it's a homeless vet to Chick-fil-A, and then they give you a card, and then I give that card to Ryan, because that's something that's important to him. So even though Ryan doesn't have everything, it's something that's important to him. And that's also important to do for kids. Even if you don't have even if your kids don't have everything, it's important for them to know that you still need to be generous.
Absolutely.
So, maybe go buy a few toys and put them, in the donation box at Walmart or someplace else, and show your kids that, they need to be generous too.
Right.
And a lot of parents will take their kids and go through their toys right before Christmas and say, you're going to be getting toys. You need to
pick out some toys that you don't use a lot or you want to get rid of.
Or that would be nice
gifts. Or that would be nice
gifts. That you want to get rid of.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah. And be nice, be generous and give those toys to another child.
Again,
make sure
someone
your
who's
kids...
less fortunate. It shows them charity.
Right. Make sure your kids have that generous heart. Make sure they start early so that they're not super selfish when they get older.
Like so many end up becoming.
Right.
And then finally, number 10, give cheerfully.
Right.
And that's scriptural. God says that he would rather you be a cheerful giver than begrudgingly be giving. And that goes along with giving gifts to other people too.
Right. Don't give with strings. Don't be like, here's your gift.
Yeah. You don't give to get, and you don't give with strings attached.
Right.
You give because you care about the individual.
Right.
And you want to make them happy and bless them. Right. So those are our 10 tips for this Christmas, how to give great gifts.
Right. So my other gift, the reason that I'm sitting here with this, which we haven't explained yet, is this was my gift from Lon. And it is the Rufus repellent.
It's a Rufus, yes, a Rufus guard.
Yes.
Rufus guard.
And so before the surgery, Lon said, Rufus is going to be jumping on you a lot. And so he went online and searched for something that would because Rufus is always jumping right up on me, so he wanted something that would kind of protect me. And so I've had this for the last 5-6 days. Yeah. And it's worked perfectly, and it was the best gift that he could have gotten me. And it was, it was something that was super important. It protected me. And it was so sweet of him. And so this is the kind of gift that you have to, think about what the person wants and needs and can use. And it's fantastic, and it's bamboo, and I can put my computer on it, and I can eat on it, and it's so nice. And it was something that he thought about, and I didn't think about it. I'm just thinking about surgery and all that stuff, and he's thinking about
I'm thinking
when
about
you come home,
the effects and
all this stuff.
And
it was fantastic. And so I really
By the way, that's not the
appreciate
only thing that I'm giving you this Christmas. I do have something else.
You gave me surgery.
I gave you surgery.
It was a lot of money. You don't have any more money.
Nope, we're all tapped out.
So anyway, and there were a few other things we wanted to say.
So can you take it for just a minute?
Well, yeah, because I was gonna tell them. So okay. So
you take it.
Okay.
Give me just a minute. I'm gonna.
I hope he brings me a puppy. You better.
I'm not
bring me Rufus.
I'm not gonna bring you.
And don't whack this because I'll scream.
I'll be right back, guys.
Okay.
If I can get out of here.
So, as most of you know, Madison's a teacher, and she teaches middle school. So on the last day of school, some of her kids were bringing her gifts, and several of her kids are less fortunate, and one of them came in and gave her a gift, and it was nicely wrapped and everything, and kind of inexpensive wrapping paper. Oh, Rufus is crying. And so she opens it up, and it's an emery board, and it was very colorful, and she was like, oh, that's nice. And the little boy was very excited, and he said, I went to the Dollar Tree, and I don't know what that is, but it was so colorful. I knew you'd love it. And so, you know, it wasn't the gift. It wasn't that he thought she needed an emery board, but he just saw something and it was colorful and he had to buy her something. And so he was just super excited about buying her something. And so that's the kind of gift that you want, is someone who doesn't have anything but gives you something. And so that's what Christmas is about. It's about that generous heart. And so Mr. Linton is back.
Okay. I'm back. I figured this was really the perfect place to give you this.
It's not Christmas yet. And I'm opening all of my Christmas gifts before Christmas, which is what I love.
No, but they'll love to see you open this.
Okay.
Okay, so
It's to you.
I know it's addressed to me, but it's not. It's for you.
You didn't bring the scissors down, did you?
I opened it right here so you could get it out easy.
It's Rufus socks. It's Rufus socks.
It's Rufus socks.
I will wear them forever.
And it's from Divvy Up. And they are not sponsors, by the way, but
Maybe they will be.
maybe they will be someday. Who knows? Anyway,
Oh, thank you.
there you go. Rufus socks. Now you can have
Rufus
Rufus.
socks.
Well, you love socks. You love like wearing crazy socks and stuff like that, and so I figured
You're the best.
you can always have Rufus down by your feet,
Where he belongs.
where he belongs. Did you tell your story?
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Okay, guys. Well, I think that's it.
Yes.
Is that it?
That's it.
All right. Well, that's our show for tonight. Before we go, though, we've got just a couple of other things that we wanted to do. Is we want to remind everybody tomorrow night. Of course, tomorrow is Christmas Eve, and I know wherever you're watching, there's bound to be a church nearby that has a Christmas Eve service. And I just encourage you to find a place that that's doing a Christmas Eve service, maybe a candlelight service or something, and go and participate in that. I know that London Baptist Church, or not London Baptist Church, Crossroads Community Church in London is doing a Christmas Eve service, and then Marysville Living Hope in Marysville is doing also a Christmas Eve
And Agape.
service, and Agape is doing a Christmas Eve service. Anyway, wherever you live, find a place
Yep,
and just
find
be
one. Yep.
and just participate. It's a special time to really be festive about it. Make it about Christ, because that's really what we believe Christmas is really all about. I mean, He is the epitome of love,
Yes.
and that's kind of the driver behind Christmas.
Yes.
So, we also thought that we would... I'm going to turn this music off. There we go. We also thought that we would do a Christmas song for you guys.
Don't whack me.
I'm not going to whack you. Right? We're going to sing Silent Night. You guys can sing along with us. Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round yon virgin mother and child. Holy Good night, everybody. And watch for tomorrow night. Tomorrow night we're going to be posting. It won't be live, but you can watch it at any time. Tomorrow night we're going to be posting The Other Wise Man. So look for that tomorrow night.
Yes.
And except for that, you guys have a Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Bye, guys.